So, how do I seek God? The best way to put this is the comparison in the Gospels with Jesus saying his sermons to the people and the masses versus him talking to his disciples. When he was speaking to the masses, he spoke in parables. When he was speaking to his disciples, he explained the parable. Saying all of this to say, the reason of the difference is, for the people, he's spreading a message. If you want to know more about the message, you seek him. Those people who were believing and moving in faith in Jesus, they were moving in faith in him as an entire being. The lady with the issue of blood, she moved on faith. She didn't have to hear a sermon from God. She knew who he was because she saw what was going on. She heard and she went and sought him for herself, no matter the crowd. She was willing to be bold in her faith. I say this to say, with Jesus and his disciples, they were seeking God already. They were learning from him. He was their teacher. So that's why he explained. And if he didn't explain, what would they do? Ask, right? They asked God questions. They were with God. They were with Jesus. They were with him in every area. They were following him. And even some of them who weren't with him, because they had, he had his 3 and then he had the rest of the disciples. However, they were constantly seeking and learning. They were seeing what was going on and asking questions, right? With the masses, they can also learn, if they so desire, to seek God. I say this to say, in seeking God, it's really seeking God with your whole heart. It's really wanting to know, God, I don't understand this. Tell him that. God, I'm frustrated. Tell him that. God, I don't really like this. Tell him that. But if your heart is not in it, you are not seeking him. Your heart has to be really in it in order to really see God move. Because the reason being is this, if your heart is not in it, you won't be able to hear the word of God. You won't be able to hear him. So I think some things too is when we're trying to figure out, is this God's voice? Is this, are you able to hear God's voice? Or are you still moving on, I want to do my own will, and that's it? Where his voice is not loud enough because what you're desiring is louder than him. And so we ask these questions and sit down. The more you move is the more you can't hear nothing. It's the more you're doing instead of resting. It's the more you're doing instead of seeking. With God, you'll realize you're not doing. He commissions you, yes, but first he gives you an identity in him. You being his child is more than enough for him. More than enough for him. And it should be more than enough for you, right? And so I say this to say, in seeking God, you have to seek him with your whole heart. Nobody can teach you how to seek him with your whole heart. You, of all people, know what's in your heart. And even if you don't, you know what it means to love somebody with your whole heart.